Hi guys, welcome to Write in Wednesday, if I can get the title right. I'm a little tired, so I'm going to try to be on top of my game and no rambling, but I ramble on the best of days, so I don't know what to tell you. I apologize ahead of time. Oops, whoa, my camera's falling. Sorry, it's kind of like on a precarious stand. Hopefully it doesn't attack me again. Hopefully. Anyway, I'll jump right into the questions. I have notes. Real notes. Because there's a lot of questions, like a ton, like 2 full pages of notes. And so I don't want to be here for the next hour, which I could easily do. Let's be honest. I can talk forever. So I'm going to jump right in, which I've said about 4 times now. Like I said, I'm a little tired today. Okay, the first question is from Kayla Joe. Tristan or Seth, and have I started writing the 3rd book yet in the Starbright series? So, Seth. It's always been Seth. Always. In the first book, the love triangle was so obvious that it was too obvious for me. It was almost like, come on guys, there's not really teams, you have to know where this is going. Of course you don't, because even I don't know what's going on in my crazy head. But the whole idea of Tristan was not that she was ever deeply in love with him. He was never a real choice for Stella, and he was a connection to her humanity that was holding her back from her true potential. It was all this symbolism. Her love for Tristan was representative of her love for humanity. She had real feelings for Tristan, and it was really hard for her to work through them, obviously. But in my author creative head, it was more of Tristan is a roadblock on her way to her greater destiny, which is Seth, which has always been Seth. So, yeah, anyways, I know I had my editor that edited Starbright was always oh no, another love triangle, and she would be if she ends up with Tristan, I will hunt you down. And no, Tristan was never a real viable option in the plot of the story. Yes, to sell it in her head as she's going through it, yes, but in my writing head, no, that was never, with Eden and Kieran and Jericho, there was a real possibility that Eden could have ended up with Jericho. Even me, the creator, didn't know which way I was going to go at times. But with Stella, it was always Seth. And I would have to choose Seth too. I like Tristan. He's BFF material. So I would hang out with him. I do hang out with him. Let's be real about that. Okay, next question. Jerica asks, have I heard Lady Antebellum's song All for Love? And I hadn't, but I did go Spotify it real quick and listen to it, and I agree, it is a fantastic song for kind of representative of Eden and Kieran and their love, which, by the way, I love Lady Antebellum, love them, so good choice with your music. Kaylee asks, can I pronounce my characters' names for you all? Because apparently they're difficult. And I completely understand that. I didn't think, in my head, I say them the same way every time. But I get it, because I have really good friends that will come up to me. They've read the Star-Crossed, and they'll pronounce Kieran's name wrong. And I'm you're my good friend. How do you not know? So, anyways, I totally get it. So, in Star-Crossed, there is Kieran and Eden and Talbot. I say Talbot. And who else is in that one? Amory and Syl. Lily, that's easy. Lucan is easy. Delia and Justice. Annalisa. Is that everyone? In Star-Crossed. In Starbright, you have Stella and Tristan and Seth. And Selena, sorry. You can see, even I don't get it right. Selena. And Serena. and 7, obviously. I'm trying to think of all the names. I should have written this part down. Oh, Elia is the bad guy. Elia is how you pronounce his name. Like, what's that movie? Clueless. When she's like, these are Elias. When she gets mugged in the parking lot. Or this is an Elia. Whatever she says. Whatever. I know that movie way too well to be quoting it wrong. I think that's everyone in that book that I can remember. And I really should have written this down, sorry. In The Rush, Ryder and Ivy, and Sloane and Exie, Phoenix, Kenna, Nyx, Ava. I think that's everyone in that one. And in Love and Decay, Vaughn is the first one, like Stevie Ray Vaughan, and Hendrix, obviously. And then Nelson, Harrison, King, Paige, Haley and Reagan, Gage, Matthias is how you say the dad's name, and Kane. I'm trying to think if I have any other books. I don't think so. In Bet in the Dark, it's just Ellie and Britt, and Beckett, Grayson, Lennox, and Finn. So I think that's everyone. If there are more names, just I'll do it again on my next one, because I hope I didn't forget any. I'm probably forgetting like a main character. Oh gosh, it's okay. Sometimes I forget my children too. Okay. Hannah asks, will we learn more about Eden and Kieran? And you will. They will be featured, not featured, but they will be characters in The Relentless Warrior and The Redeemable Prince. And actually, so far in The Relentless Warrior, Eden and Kieran have had kind of a major role so far. They won't through the whole book, but it's about Jericho. But yeah, you get to find more about them and the pregnancy and what's happening with them. So yes, you will. Will I write a future novella or a book about them? Probably not. But their story will, this like journey that they're on now with the babies in the womb, will be told, finished, or whatever. Baby in the womb. That's how I refer to pregnancy. Can we just make sure that's documented? Oh, I told you I was tired. Okay. Amy asks, which Parker brother would I choose? And I had to think about this. I was glad I got this question a couple days ago. But I think I would go with Vaughn. I am like way too laid back for Hendrix. He would never get my jokes, and that would be boring. I would be like, what's wrong with you? Laugh at me. Laugh, monkey, laugh. But no, it would be Vaughn. He's my more, like, he's definitely my type more than Hendrix. Laid back and funny and can have a serious conversation, but can joke around too. So, yeah, I think it would be Vaughn. And then Amy asked, if I were Reagan, what would I miss the most? Okay, so really, when I wrote episode 1, I got into my own head. I was like, what would I miss the most? Like, that was literally my question when I wrote episode 1. So I imagine myself like in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. I have no family. I'm like one friend. I have nothing. And like at my base, at my core, what is going to drive me craziest? Imagining that I am like a single 20-year-old girl, not the mom and wife that I am now. And it was eyeliner. That is why Reagan is searching for eyeliner, because that would be me. I would hate that. Like, fine, I have to deal with zombies. Fine, I have to hunt for food every single day. But, like, let me look decently. And maybe that's vain. I'm pretty sure that's really vain. But, like, there are certain things in life that you can't replicate. Like, you can go hungry, and then you can, like, it doesn't have to be a great meal, but you get to eat. Like, they've always been eating. And they've been sleeping in place. I mean, they're not, like, starving and destitute. I mean, they had some level of living. They didn't have makeup, so I had to give them that in the first episode. And the truth is, like, I have lived in third world countries before, and not for like extended amount of time. I don't want to belittle like someone's existence over there, but I've had that taste. So I know like very acutely what I can live without, and which is most everything. Like, I'm not a needy person. I'm pretty I don't know, minimalist. So but yeah, if I'm vain for that, then so be it. But that would drive me crazy, and there would be no hair products. Like, can you imagine me in a world without hair products? 2 days ago, I took a shower, and I got out of the shower, and I had run out of gel, and I forgot to get my hair product at the store, so I had nothing except this old mousse. And like, curly hair, or my hair at least, is not one that you can, like, I can't even stand under like a ceiling fan for extended amounts of time because my hair starts drying and then it turns into a mess, and I can't fix it with product at that point. I have to rewash it. So there I am out of the shower without hair products, and I have to use this mousse that doesn't work. And then I had like the frizziest hair, and it was so ugly. And of course I'm on a 3-day shower routine, and I can't mix that up. I mean, why would I? Right? I mean, there are reasons why I should probably, but they weren't enough with the crazy hair. And then I had a play date yesterday with a good friend of mine, and so I'm like trying to fix my ugly hair and like get it into something that resembles like humanity. And it was a Pinterest fail moment because I had another friend who was telling me about this great hairstyle. You just take a straightener and you twist your hair in like dreads, and then you straighten the dread, and you do that all over your head, and then you leave it like that, and then you like, you know, like scrunch it out, and it will have those curls that are like straight on the end that are messy. It's like a beach look. She's like, that's all you have to do. So that's what I did. Like, I took my straightener, I got to work all the dreads, and it was a Pinterest fail. It did not work for me. And my already curly hair, I'm like, oh, it'll be super easy. My hair's already halfway to curly, even with this stupid hair product. Anyways, you can't tell. I got the good stuff back. I would miss hair product the most because I would be like the hag on the corner. I would never bag a Hendrix or a Parker brother. They'd feed me to the zombies because of my hair. Anyway, that was a really long tangent. And I said this was going to be to the point. So, Brittany asks, will I write a second book for Bet in the Dark? And the answer is yes, only it won't be Ellie and Finn that are the main characters. It will be Beckett. I'm going to write a book for each of the brothers, Beckett, Lennox, and Grayson. And Beckett's book is next, and the first chapter is actually on my blog. You can go read about Beckett in A Little Moment with Britt on my blog, rachelhigginson.com, and there will be that book. I don't know when. I haven't started writing it yet, so, well, other than the first chapter. So, I don't know when it will be here, but it will be here. That is the plan. But Ellie and Finn will not be featured. I mean, they'll be in it, like Ian and Kieran are in the second half of the Starcross, but they won't be the main characters. That makes sense. And then she asks, how will Love and Decay end? Is it when they get to the mountains, or how? And I don't know yet. I don't even know if they're still going to the mountains at this point. I know how this season is going to end, obviously, hopefully. And I know how season 2 will start and maybe get, I know maybe as far as how like the middle will go. And then from there, from this key scene in the middle of season 2, there's like several different forks in the road that I can take, and I don't know yet. I don't even know if they'll make it to the mountains. The mountains was more like a journey to get them moving. They had to work for something, and now they're at the storage facility, which is kind of like a permanent settlement. And then you'll see how season 1 ends on Friday. And so from there, I don't know. I don't think, like, for right now, the mountains are tabled. but things might change after Friday or in the middle of season 2, so you'll have to see. Do I know when it will end? No, I have no idea. Don't worry. That's totally normal for me. Things usually work out. Keep your fingers crossed. Jennifer asks, could I ever see myself writing a love scene? And if so, how hard would that be for me as a writer? And okay, if you know me, it's really hard. Like, really hard. I'm sorry. Kissing scenes are not hard for me at all. Like, second base gets a little difficult. I've always said my characters will die virgins because I would never write it, but I guess I was talking more like when I saw myself as writing only love or only young adult. All my young adult characters will die virgins. Like, I don't think I'll ever write a love scene in young adult. New adult is it's a different genre and it's more expected. Can I see myself personally writing a new adult love scene? I don't know. It's kind of hard for me. Like with Finn and Ellie, it was like, no. Like, this book is not about sex. That is the last thing this book is about, and that's not the point of the book. Hopefully nobody, a lot of people were waiting for it, but kind of the opposite was true. Like, I wanted Ellie represented as someone who, like, struggled with intimacy and wasn't ready for sex and wasn't put in a position where she was forced to decide between sex or the main character, if that makes sense. Like, I understand today's world, believe me. And I'm not, like, old-fashioned by any means, but I do think that there is a girl out there that is underrepresented that doesn't want to feel pressured to have sex with the first guy she falls in love with, or even right away, even if she's in love and she wants to wait even then. Like, I feel like she's just a little bit underrepresented in the literary world. And maybe I'm wrong, but that's kind of my impression, that there just isn't the voice for the girl who can, like, have a steamy makeout and know when to say no. And so that was kind of that's who I pictured Ellie as. It was just like, she is insecure. She's confident, but she's insecure. She was in a relationship, but never felt like the intimacy that it took to have sex, if that makes sense. So, and for me, personally, that takes a lot to, like, get to that point where you trust someone so much that you would give that to them, especially if it's your first time or whatever, which usually my characters start out as virgins, so they're the virginal whatever, I don't know. But, so, and I don't think I can get there in one book. Like, from, like, start of the relationship to the end when they're ready for that. Like, I personally don't think I can get there in one book. 11K is different, and Reagan and Hendrix's relationship has certainly heated up. Like, sometimes it feels like it's beyond my control. I'm like, slow down, guys. I am not ready for this. Like, did I really just use the words that I hate in all the world? But nipple, I think it's nipple. I hate that word. And this is, I've nursed 4 children, okay? I am comfortable. I just hate that word. And anyway, it's so much wrong information. Where was I going? You've got me all flustered. Now, okay, so that's young adult or new adult, and it's up in the air. We'll see where 11K goes. I don't know yet. There will be love scene in 5 Stages of Falling in Love. I don't know how intimate it will get. I don't know if it will be like I don't know. I haven't written it, so I can't tell you any details. I don't know if I'll have like 3 glasses of wine and we'll get to saying words I've never said out loud before, or if it will be fade to black. I have no idea, but I do know that there will be a love scene in 5 Stages of Falling in Love, and because it's crucial to the storyline, and that's my main issue with love scenes. They have to be part of a bigger story. Like, they have to be an integral part of the storyline. But I hope that each of my chapters is like that. Like, whenever I write a book, I don't just like throw in words to make my word count higher. I like to think that everything I write means something for the story. So if there's a love scene in it, it will mean something for the plot. It will further the story. It will be good for the heroine in one way or another. But anyways, does that answer your question? As ambiguous as I can be. And she said, would that be hard for me as a writer? Yeah, it would be. I am not a prude person by any means. Like, if you talk to me in real life, like, I am hardly censored at all. Like, I say crazy things. But my issue with putting it in a print book is that it's there forever. Like, forever. And one day I'm going to have to face my children and say, this is what I wrote. And that's who I'm writing for. Like, not specifically to give them a book, but I'm writing for them. Like, I always want them to be able to read my writing in the age appropriate genre that they're in. So, like, if I write an adult book, that's more okay to me because they won't read it till they're an adult or until they're mature enough to get it all. Anyways, Kathy asked Avalon or Kieran, and this is an awkward question for me because, like, my personality would match with Avalon so much better than it would match with Kieran. Especially, I'm, like, not a jealous person. He would never be interested in me. I'm, like, way too laid back for him. He likes them a little high-strung. But Avalon feels like a brother to me. Like, I wrote Eden so much like myself, which I know those are just two conflicting statements that I said, but, like, exaggerated pieces of myself. And I wrote Avalon very much just like her brother. And so I feel like Eden more than any of my other characters. And so Avalon feels very much like a brother. So, like, in real life, Avalon and I would work better together, but it's gross. So, Kieran, only he's he's too moody. I feel like, get over it, dude. Let's just relax. Let's just watch a movie and drink a margarita. Krista asked, what is in the envelope in Bet in the Dark? And this, okay, I said before, I'm, like, not going to reveal it until Beckett's book. Or until Grayson's book. But it's, like, 2 books away. It's not a big deal. Like, it's so small. Like, it was kind of exciting when I first wrote it. But now it's, like, it's been too long. It's not going to, it's so anticlimactic, basically, is what I'm saying. But it's just basically correspondence between Grayson and Finn, who work together. And you'll, like, that'll all come out in his book, but it's not anything super exciting. It's just correspondence between business partners, and Grayson's book, we'll talk more about it. Jeanette asked, where are the animals in Love and Decay? Because it bothers her there's no, like, dogs and cats and wild animals running around, or wild packs of dogs. And I have said this in a couple of the episodes, that it bothers Reagan that there's no animals, that the animals are all quiet. And that they haven't seen any, except for some birds randomly. And like I said, I spent time in third world countries before. And that is one thing, like, outside of, like, what we would think of as, like, westernized culture or civilized culture. Now, they're not civilized, that's not what I'm saying, but, like, outside of our animal-controlled communities, there are cats everywhere, there are wild packs of dogs everywhere. Like, in Romania, whenever we would walk from our apartment complex to the bus, we would be followed by wild packs of dogs, and the same in Sri Lanka. So, like, I am aware that dogs would be everywhere, dogs and cats would be everywhere, but they are not in the story right now. And my thinking behind it is that the zombies would eat anything. They would eat dogs, they would eat cats. I mean, they will eat anything. They eat each other. And so they are, first of all, are picked off pretty easily if they're running around. Anything living draws the zombies. So, like, if dogs are running around, zombies who can seem to appear from nowhere would find them. And also, they've they have a survival instinct of their own to where they are untrustworthy of or untrusting of human type species, because one is trying to eat them, and also I would think that the humans would also try to eat them. If you're starving, a dog and a cat are better on the food chain than other animals or other, like rats or whatever, which they did run into rats, but it's like bottom of the food chain to me. So they are in their own survival mode right now. I'm not saying they will never run into animals. That's definitely a possibility, especially if they were to go into like right now they've been in really industrial type places. So like they haven't stayed in like they're in a storage facility, and they were in a grocery store, and they were in a mall. Like those aren't places where animals would originate from, if that makes sense. Or an army base. I guess they were in an army base, but I kind of picture Gary like totally eating dogs. He is a freak. So yeah, so that's where they are. They are surviving on their own, and they, there just hasn't been an opportunity where for animals and them to like run into. But Reagan has said several times that she's missing it, that it's absent, that the silence is deafening, basically. So that answers your question. Lene writes, what happened to the 5 stages of love? And it's still being written slowly, so slowly, that which is a good thing, I think, because this book is different than anything I've written. It's so much deeper than anything I've written. So I want to take my time with it and make sure that it's done right and properly. To me, it's going to reach an entirely different audience than the one I already have. Hopefully. I mean, I'm not saying that it for sure will, but it's kind of geared toward, it's definitely not young adult or new adult. It is definitely not paranormal. It is very real life, very realistic, and it's very emotional, like so emotional that I haven't written a chapter yet and where I'm not like sobbing. And I'm emotional. Like, don't let that deter you, because I am just an emotional writer. Like, I just cried writing Love and Decay, the season finale. So I just get very connected to my characters and cry anyways. But it is heavier than anything I've ever written. And so I'm just taking my time with it. I don't know. I had kind of planned on a January release, like tentatively, like months ago, when I thought I could get all these books out faster. But it's not anywhere close to being ready for January. So I'm kind of trying to get on top of my series right now. They're my first commitment to like Starbright, and I want to finish out Starcrossed, and I want to finish out The Rush, and then maybe I'll dive into it more permanently. But I will keep you updated, and I'll start doing teasers from it when there's more of it written. And yeah, it's going to be a really good book. Like I said, it's so different than anything I've written. But last question. Darcy asks, when you are starting out as a writer, what is the best way to find someone willing to write with you without being rude? And this is in the context of my blog. I wrote it a while ago about co-writing and how it's just a very easy way to write with someone, or write your first book, because it's so like cohesive and inspirational. But yeah, I mean, maybe I didn't think about that, like finding someone to write with, because Lila and I came together, and it was just a natural progression of our friendship, and our writing careers kind of coincide a lot of the time, and so it was a natural for us. But maybe you have to find your writing style before you dive in with someone else. I don't think it's rude to ask somebody. I think you just have to find someone who's kind of a peer to you. Like I wouldn't ask Colleen Hoover to write a book with me. Like I feel like she's at a different level of success than me. But Lila and I kind of like tread the same ground, and so we make a good pair. And I think that's what you have to look for, is like someone who can do that with you, who is your peer, who would be a natural person that you can be honest with and trust, because it's a lot of trust. Like, you trust them to accept your writing, and you trust them to write something that you approve of. So anyways, I hope you guys are having a good Wednesday, and I cannot wait for Love and Decay to come out this Friday. And I hope you have a fantastic Thanksgiving. I'm pretty excited for ours. Big family weekend. We don't do any Black Friday shopping because I hate people. I mean, I don't hate people, but I hate crowds and get really thirsty when I go shopping, and that's my reason not to Black Friday shop. I get really thirsty. So, anyways, hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week for Bright and Wednesday. But we'll talk in between then with all the releases coming out. Bye.